Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MLG Pro League coverage here live from the MLG studio. I'm joined by Mr. X, aka Matt, aka the People's Caster via Skype. Yes. Matt's in the lobby. We're waiting for them to start it up. Game number 1 between Faze and TK going to be Solar Hardpoint. Now, Matt, if you missed our pregame show, we said that TK right now in the Season 3 Pro League is a whopping 1-7 in Hardpoint. Do you think they have any chance of taking map number 1?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you.
I believe Faze went undefeated, if I'm not mistaken, in Hardpoint at UMG.
Yeah, I believe that they were 10-0 in Hardpoint.
And I believe they were 8-0 in Search.
And then their 2 map losses. Yeah, their 2 map losses came in Uplink.
Unbelievable. I mean, just an insane event right there from Faze.
Yeah.
And versus the TK team, who's struggling a bit. I mean, they had a rough go at UMG. I think I heard that they were up to like 2 in the morning, and then they had to play Optic the next day. So, a rough go for TK. But still, you need to see some things out of this team that are promising soon. I mean, they make the new roster, bringing back Theory, bringing back Neslo. But have you seen that much out of them that would warrant a huge improvement? I believe they'll be moving into the house soon, but might have to move up those movement dates to even sooner to get some wins here in the league.
Yeah, right now they're sitting at 1-3. They have a 7-11 map record, not the spot they want to find themselves in. On the other hand, Faze is 2-1 with a 6-3 map record, so fully looking forward to seeing how they perform tonight. Take a look at some of the stats from Faze. Enable, who had the highest KD for this squad at UMG Dallas, has a .98 overall in the league so far. A little bit less consistent online, but still the great player they need in regards to the objective gameplay done for that squad and really just kind of making sure they win. He's a player who will lock down the map with his AR, but then also when the time comes to it, he'll hop in the hard point as well to ensure that they get the victory. We saw that time and time again at UMG Dallas.
Yeah, he had a great UMG, Enable did. I think that was probably, I don't want to say his best event, but I mean, we've seen him struggle against Optic in some events, but he played great the entire weekend.
Oh, 100%. I definitely think you could say that was one of his best events of his career, to say the least. Right now, though, just waiting for this lobby to get set up. I believe Solar Hardpoint's map number 1. Then looking into it, Search and Destroy, no matter what map it's on, Faze, I still have to favor them just because how strong they look overall. And then really Uplink, I think, is the only map that TK could possibly try to sneak. We could take a look at the caster prediction card from earlier today to see where things stand at the moment. Matt, I do believe you predicted Rise to take the first series.
I did.
That was that did not wind up working out for you. So that will tie Benson up with you at 19-19. And the rest of the night, everyone had the same predictions. So after this one, Puckett moves up closer to you guys. Benson moves up closer to you. And finally, Maven is still quite far behind.
He'll be behind the entire time.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever won anything in his entire life.
No. Really hasn't done much of anything his entire video game career.
Matt, that's what I can appreciate. You're always honest, especially about Maven. As we head into map number 1, Solar Hardpoint. I mean, I fully expect to see Kaliber and Enable lock down the map with the ARs. Expect to just see Zuma flood outside the hills. We saw it on the 3rd hardpoint on the Garage Hill, where he will just push out pipe side all the way towards the middle of the map and just completely render that area shut down for the opposing team. As we move into Solar Hardpoint, I'm going to hop on board with Zuma off the start. Expect to see him get extremely aggressive. For TK, though, is there what will they need to do to have any chance of winning this game, Matt?
To win this game, I mean, you're gonna need Sharp, and you're gonna really need a full team effort in the slaying department. I mean, can't really harp on Sharp and Nameless too much. I mean, you really don't get a consistent game out of everybody on this team.
Absolutely. Off the start of the game, you're gonna see Zuma push towards this top catwalk area, early hill control. Momentarily going to TK, they're just going to push out that glass side as Enable picks up the 2-piece. The final player of TK just above Zuma there on the catwalk side. Nameless spots one player in glass, able to pick up the kill on Enable. 3-second lead for Faze.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you expect from Faze. They're starting out things strong here on Solar Hardpoint, and I think if you're TK, you need to get off this early good start, Jack. I mean, if you let Faze get in the lead by a lot, TK doesn't really have that firepower to make the comeback.
Already, Kaliber 3-0, Enable 5-2, Zuma 3-1, Slang fully in favor of Faze. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe this is Faze's host for game number 1. Clayster gets dropped by Sharp. Finally, 20-second lead for Faze.
Yep, and it's going to go over to hill number 2 here shortly. You see how Theory trying to set up, has some teammate support. Theory, though, he's going to drop before it comes up. Nameless, he's going to drop as well. You have Attach on the hard point for this Faze lineup, and it's interesting, Jack. This Faze lineup, it's made up of a bunch of players really outside of Enable. I mean, Enable's been consistent the entire year. But if you could name 3 players that gave Optic Gaming more trouble, I mean, I actually don't think you could. I mean, the players that are giving Optic Gaming trouble all year long are Clay, Attach, and Zuma. Zuma's always played well against Optic Gaming, and to put all 3 of them on the same team with a consistent player like Enable, I mean, this is going to be a Faze team you can see make a run the entire rest of the year.
Oh, absolutely. And not only just a consistent player in Enable, but a great leader and overall just positive member on this squad. Going to keep them level-headed even in the toughest of matchups. We saw that so far this past weekend. The main ref, actually, from UMG, one of the head refs on the main stage, came up to Benson and I after the tournament ended, and he said of every single team that stepped foot and played in that booth this weekend, Faze remained the most positive in every scenario. He said their communication was always at its peak. He said they were always just relaxed in the booth. And the second he said that, Ben and I just looked at each other and we said, that's Enable for you. He does that when he's on a squad.
Oh, I mean, you have some great leaders on this team. I mean, you have Enable, you have Clay, Zuma, and Attach, both pretty positive guys. I mean, we've seen Attach, he's dancing around the booth lots of times whenever we see him. But no, with Enable and Clay, I think 2 players who bring a lot of experience. You know, Enable with COD and Halo, and then obviously Clay, you know, with all the winning he's done on Call of Duty. You have 2 of the most experienced players in the game with 2 of the new kind of, I don't want to say young guns, but 2 of the newcomers to the upper echelon of the pro scene. And it's a great mixture of talent.
Exactly right on that one, Matt, as we move into the final 12 seconds of hill time on this back garage hardpoint. Sharp did a great job of holding that for his team. Unfortunately for him, the last little bit of scrap time is going to go in favor of Faze. He does get a favorable spawn, though. 3 players of TK still alive at this back parking lot hill.
Yeah, we can see that it's going to be Theory in control of it first, trying to push out that white van, not able to do so.
Clayster just cut them both down with the AR, making it look easy. There's Attach pushing out that pipe side. This is all that Faze does. They have their AR sit inside the hill. He'll just shoot down whatever players push from either side, and then Attach and Zuma will push through P1. They'll push out the white van. They'll push towards glass side and just over and over kill the opposing players before they can even spot the hill.
Yeah, they just do a great job of just forcing out those cuts, and really just so much aggression out of Faze. And then you have such a great AR in Clayster in the back, and you see right now Clay sitting at 14 and 9, but it's really what you want him to do. His job is to put up a lot of kills and not die as much. I mean, he's really going to be, you know, look at him to have the lowest deaths in the room at all times.
Absolutely there. As you can see, TK getting that last little bit of scrap time. They're also going to win the rotation in this back warehouse hardpoint. Nameless losing that gunfight up against Attach. That's 3 dead for TK momentarily. Neslo, the last player alive inside the hill. Enable with the break.
Yeah, Enable's going to try and push in the front, but Theory there cut him off. Theory trying to jump in. He's going to get taken out. Now, it's going to be the guys on Faze in control of the hill, Jack, as they are starting to mount a pretty nice lead.
Enable hasn't skipped a beat from UMG Dallas, now 21 and 13. Unfortunately for him, he does die inside that hard point. 4 go down momentarily for Faze. A beautiful break out of TK. You can see the spawns all coming from low side. They're going to have to try to push out from this garage area. The Bal presence, though, too strong at the moment for TK. Neslo and Theory doing a great job holding down the map.
Oh, they're doing a phenomenal job holding down the map. And you're seeing, the guys on TK, you're getting good games out of pretty much everybody, but really Sharp. He's the one that's really putting up some nice numbers from them. And you're going to be looking at Theory. I mean, Theory, we expect him to put up some of the best numbers on this lineup, but right now, 11 and 19, it's kind of really going to see how he fits into this lineup again.
Absolutely, here as Enable challenges the gunfight there in P1. Gets cut down by 2 opposing players. Theory inside the hill. He falls to Attach. Attach picks up a beautiful 2-piece there. He's just going to play the objective for this team. They still have a full half-minute lead at the moment. Let's take a look at the slang column. Enable 23 and 16. Clayster 23 and 14 on a 6 streak at the moment. And finally, Attach positive as well with a 4 captures to his name. Enable and Clayster, though, really just outclassing the battles of TK at the moment.
Yeah, doing a phenomenal job. I mean, really, it's any team would struggle to out AR Clay and Enable, but TK really struggling in that department right now. I mean, I was on board with Nameless. He's going to pick up one. He's going to try and rotate over towards this next hill, but you know, TK, they keep rotating, but they're not getting any time, Jack.
Oh, they just keep getting taken out of the hill with ease. Finally, they get some early control of the pipes, but Enable is in such a power position. On that top side, he's going to lay down fire, picks up one, takes down Theory as well. You can see Nameless trying to get through middle cuts. He dies to Clayster. A full minute lead now for Faze as they remain in 4.
Oh, yeah, and Faze able to lock this down. Clay in the hill, he's going to pick up one, and you just look at the stats
this
from
is just
him
a
and
slaughter.
Enable. I mean, 31 and 17 on a 4 streak for Enable. Clay 28 and 17. I feel like both those scores came out of nowhere. And Attach and Zuma just doing what they're two of the best players in the game at, just putting pressure on the opposing team, whether it's around the hill or forcing out those spawns.
Matt, just prior to that first hill, the slaying was pretty even, maybe 5-6 kills separating these two teams. Now, Faze is positive 25 overall. Enable and Clayster have absolutely taken over. It reflects in the score as they have a full 70-second lead.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be so difficult for TK to come back from, Jack. I mean, right now, they're in control of this garage hardpoint. But you see on the left-hand side, 3 players from Faze pushing right near it. And this is the difference between the two teams. I mean, nobody from TK really taking the gunfights to Faze and pushing out those hills. And once Faze is able to pick up 2 or 3 kills around the hill, everybody on TK spawns out. Faze able to take the hill right back. And that's what makes them one of the best hardpoint teams in the game. When I say one of the best, in the top 2, them and Optic Gaming, the clear-cut best hardpoint teams in the game.
Absolutely. They remain up by 60 seconds here. TK doing all they can to stay alive, but unfortunately the sub pressure is just too strong. Enable is getting it done with the Bal. He's getting it done with the sub, now 36 and 22. Gets team killed there by Clayster, but Attach picks up another 2-piece, make it 3 there with the help of Enable. Just dominating inside these close quarters, dominating in the long-range gunfights, everything going in favor of the Red Militia.
Yeah, and Clay's on that rotation pretty much by himself now. He's able to pick up 2. See, he's going to have one more player in front of him. That's Nameless. He's going to be rotating pretty much all by himself, really just dominating that back area, letting nobody from TK get close. And now TK able to get control of it, but look how far away the guys on Team Kaliber are spawning out. Just Faze doing a great job putting that pressure, Attached, crossing the map. Going to be able to pick up some cutoffs over here on the A street. And this one should go in favor of Faze.
Faze now positive 33 in the slaying department. Nameless and Neslo clear out the hill. Nameless winning another gunfight up against Clayster there on the glass street. He's going to challenge his final player. With the help of Neslo, they take him out. It is still mathematically possible, but unfortunately for them, Zuma just flooded through P1, and with the help of Attach, Faze now in control of the hardpoint.
You know, Jack, I just want to say something. I feel like Zuma, I don't know if he's the most underrated player in Call of Duty or the one that we just talk about the least, but I think over the last 3 or 4 events, he's absolutely crushed for Faze. And he's one of those players who, in the big moments, he always plays pretty well.
Yeah.
I think Zuma was a huge addition to this Faze lineup. Love the way he plays. Great in S&D, great in Respawn. I think he's one of the players going forward in Call of Duty esports are really going to be looking at him as one of the biggest names.
As you're talking about it, he picks up a 3-piece to single-handedly clear TK out of that hill. Attach and Zuma have both heated up at the end of this hard point. Enable, positive 16 by himself. With the rest of his squad added in, they're pushing positive 40 here as it's gotten completely out of hand. 233 to 149, making it look easy in game number 1. But Matt, did you really expect anything different?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I kind of expected this in game 1. If TK is going to make a series out of this, gonna have to show up big in game 2. And something else that I love about Attach and Zuma, Jack, is let's say they were getting out killed in this respawn, they would not have changed the way they play. Regardless of how well they're doing, always going to play super aggressive around the hard points, always going to keep pushing them out, even if they're not winning those engagements, just really makes for a good, consistent play style for the team.
Here's Zuma, a look in your final kill cam. 3 players from Faze drop 40. Disgusting stuff there in game number 1. Theory, 21 and 40 with 13 captures, was just not winning the gunfights in the hill. 13 caps, 0 defense, just losing everything when it comes to slaying in the hard point. Game number 1 going to Faze in very dominating fashion. Don't go anywhere. Game number 2 after this.